Shalom Akiyam Wa Athwayam Ruwak Wa Allah Shal Yahweh Ba Shemamat Yahweh Shai Yeshua Shalom Ayam Ayan Yahweh Daban Yasha Allah. And on today we're going to bring you another lesson concerning S.F.I.A Foundation Israelite Academy. Just a short lesson. Before we get into it, we want to give all double honors and respect, much respect to the elders and the apostles. Also the Akiyam, the brothers that's preaching the truth, teaching the truth in sincerity. And last but not least, we want to say all praises and glorification to Yahweh Ba Shemama Yahweh Shai Allah Shadia, the Almighty Power. So on today, we're going to get straight into this lesson, this real short lesson, and we're going to be out and about. So let's get into it. Okay, brothers and sisters, so this video is titled Conversion. We're going to talk a little bit about conversion. It's real short, brothers and sisters, so just get your pens, your papers, whatever necessary for you to take notes. Talking about conversion, okay? What we need to do, and the principles and the steps as being converted, okay? Being converted, and this is for early followers of the truth, brothers and sisters that have came into the truth recently, and you just don't know the principles and the procedures concerning conversion. Well, let me help you out. We're going to get right into it. So we're going to start off by giving you St. Matthew 18. But before we go into that, I want to give you another verse. Then we'll give you St. Matthew 18:3. Let's go to Psalms 119 and verse 9. This is Psalms 119 verse 9, and it reads, Beth. It says, now, when we go into that, brothers and sisters, it says Beth. That's just not R in the Hebrew, 5288, okay? And, you know, right here, boy, lad, servant, and so forth. So, we'll go back. And it says in Psalms 119:9, Beth. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to your word. So, you young brothers, you young sisters in the faith, how is it that you're going to be able to cleanse your ways? Because it said, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way. This is a question. So how are you young man and young woman going to cleanse your ways? How you going to get your act together? How you going to get your stuff in order, man? Okay, how you going to get situated? We know this is a hellhole that we're living in. It's much abomination and transgression in the earth. And there's a lot of brothers and sisters been asking this question, man. Well, ask no more, because your question is going to be answered on today concerning this lesson, conversion. So, how shall a young man cleanse his way? It says by taking heed thereto according to thy word. Okay, so you have to take heed to the Most High word, man, because the word of the Most High right here is these laws, statutes, and commands. Okay, that's what it means, taking heed to the law, and we'll show you that. This is Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. It says concerning to the Most High's word, because like we were saying just a few seconds ago, we looked at what did we look at? Psalms 119 and 9, and it said that the only way that you're going to clean up your ways, young man, young woman, little children, it says by taking heed according to the word. Okay, so now we're going to go back to Joshua 8. Well, let's look at Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. It says the book of the law, that's the word, man. The book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate therein day and night. First and foremost, this was going to keep you strong. This was going to keep your spirit uplifted, and this was going to keep you generated in the spirit. The book of the law, this Bible. What is the book of the law? The Bible, the Holy Bible. Okay, the Holy Bible. So this is the book of the law that shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate therein day and night. You got to stay in his word. Okay, and that's it. That's pursuing the Psalms 119, verse 9. That thou may observe to do according to all that is written thereof. Because this Bible is like an instructional booklet. It's sort of like a manual, instructional manual. Like when you buy a TV, like when you buy trying to put together some studio system, or you might buy some speakers or whatever. An instruction manual comes along with whatever you may purchase within the store. So the Bible is like an instruction manual according to your life, your lifestyle, to show you how to live. And it's known as the book of the law. Okay, so yeah, brothers and sisters, so this is the book of the law right here. This is the book of the law. Okay? And in the book of the law, we have to meditate day and night, that we may observe to do all according to that is written thereof in the book, because we don't want to oftentimes do what the Bible says. The Bible tells us lots of things not to do, okay, but we don't want to do it when it comes down to it. But the true followers that's really sincere about walking in the faith and walking in His truth through the Spirit and power of Yahweh S.F.I.A is going to do according to all that's written therein, this book, man. Okay, and it says, for then thou shalt make your way prosperous, and then you shall have good success in life. And that's why a lot of niggas' life is messed up. You know, they have difficulties, misfortunes in their lives. They make these young cats, man, they make their lives miserable. How? Because they choose not to get in the book of the law. They choose not to meditate day and night. They choose not to observe and to do according to all that is written in the book, man. Okay? And when you don't do that, you will not have prosperous ways. You will not have good success. All hell gonna break loose on you, man. You ain't gonna have a pot to piss in and the window to throw it out of, man. But if you take heed to this book, cause a lot of you niggas want to scoff and scorn at the Bible. Okay? Want to go around and say that the Bible is not a divine book that's from the Most High. That the Bible is not spiritual. That it's a bunch of lies and a bunch of fables made up by men. A lot of you niggas want to scoff at the Bible and come down on one of the most important books upon the earth, man. Because you niggas can't understand it and you can't decode the scriptures and the prophecies because you've been blind to the scriptures because the Most High is not dealing with some of you niggas. The Most High is not putting His Spirit on you, so now you want to ridicule and mock the Bible, and now you want to try to detour others from following the scriptures, man. But at the end of the day, this is the true book of the law that shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate there day and night, because you're going to find out that there's no other book upon the face of the earth that is more valuable and that is more essential and important than the Bible, man. Yeah, that's right. This is the book of the law. So that book of the law is the Bible. Okay. So now when we go back to Psalms 119:9, we can understand when it says, Beth, then it says, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? How in the hell you gonna clean up your dirt? How in the hell you gonna clean up? How you gonna get your closet together, man? Brothers and sisters. It says by taking heed according to the word. Now what is the word? We showed you what the word was concerning Joshua. What is the word? When we went in Joshua chapter 8, okay, we showed you, I believe that was Joshua chapter 8. Let's see, Joshua chapter 8 verse Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. We showed you the words of the book of the law. So we don't need to go any further with that. You got to take heed to the book of the law. You got to take heed to this right here. First and foremost, if you want to cleanse your way. Okay, let's get you another scripture. Matthew 18:3, and he said, verily I say unto you, except you be converted and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. So it's all about cleaning up and being converted. But how do you be converted? That's the question. Because this is what Yahweh said. We can put on the red letters and we can show you, see? Matthew 18:3. Verily I say unto you, except you be converted. These are the words of Yahushua, okay? These are the words of Yahushua, the name above all names, okay? Yahushua, Yah, He, Yahushua delivers. This is what Yahushua quoted in the Gospels, man. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. You brothers and sisters have to be converted. But how do you do that? We're going to show you exactly how do you do that. So what converts us to become little children, first and foremost? What converts us to become little children? This is not what the church is going to give you, but I'm going to show you today what converts us to become little children, okay? Psalms 19, verse 7. The law of Yahweh is perfect. Doing what? Converting the soul. So this is what converts us to become little children in the scriptures, man. They become and cleanse our ways up as well. It says the law of Yahweh. That is perfect. Converting the soul. So the only thing that's going to convert your soul, clean up your soul, clean up this filthy ass soul, man, that a lot of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans possess. The only thing that's going to clean up this soul, man, is taking heed to the law of Yahweh, man. Now, what is the law of Yahweh? Joshua 8:1, the book of the law. What is the book of the law? The scriptures, man. The Holy Bible. All right? So that's what converts us. The law of Yahweh, which is the scriptures. Okay? The good book. Okay? That's what makes us perfect. That's what converts us soul. That's the testimony of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's the testimony. That makes wise the simple. Because when you think you know it all, man, you think you just possessed all the wisdom upon the earth, you just think you know it all, that's going to humble you down, man. Okay? Psalms 19:8. The statutes of Yahweh are right. Rejoice in the heart. The commandment of Yahweh is pure. Enlighten the eyes, man. Okay? So, Psalms 19:7 is for someone being converted. It's for someone's soul being converted. I believe the law of Yahweh does that. What is the law of Yahweh once again? The scriptures, man. This is Matthew 5:48. Okay? Turn on the red letters. Click on the red letter box. Matthew 5:48. This is what Yahushua said. Who is Yahushua? The black Messiah, man. Okay? The son of the living power. Yahushua. Okay? The Allah Shadi, the almighty power. The Malak, the king. Okay? The Malak, the Shal, or Yashala, the king of Israel. All right? Yahushua. What did he say in Matthew 5:48? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven perfect. Now, a lot of you simple-minded niggas don't want to subscribe to the Bible because you see no one can be perfect. That's why I don't like reading that book, because no one can be perfect. Well, it ain't telling you simply perfection concerning the white man terminology. Perfection concerning to the modern day dictionary or the white man terminology. This perfection is pursuant to the law. We'll show you that. So it says, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in the Shamayim, which is the heavens, is perfect. So, let's go back to the previous verse. As you see in Matthew 5:48, it was telling us to be perfect, right? Okay, now I'm going to just go back to Psalm 19:7. It says, see, the law of Yahweh is perfect. The law of Yahweh is perfect. Psalm 19:7. So Yahweh basically was telling us to keep the law, man. That's all he's saying. The law of Yahweh, Psalm 19:7, is perfect. So when he made that statement concerning Matthew 5:48, when he made that statement as concerning be ye perfect, What he was saying was basically just keep the laws, man. We don't saw that in Psalm 19 and 7. Okay, let's look at another scripture. This is Deuteronomy, the 18th chapter and 13th verse. Thou shalt be perfect with Yahweh, thy power. So what does he mean, pursuing perfection? He's not talking about the modern day term that the white man put on you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the scriptures tell us not to be over righteous anyway. Let me bring that out, because it's not talking about the modern day perfection. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to slip. We're going to fall down. We're going to make mistakes. But what is this perfection pursuant to in the Bible? It's just telling you to keep the laws. Deuteronomy 18:13 also tells you to be perfect. Okay, how do you be perfect? Psalm 19 verse 7, it says the law is perfect. Keeping the laws. Okay? Don't overdo it, brothers and sisters. Don't try to be too over righteous. Let me pull that verse for you. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 16. It says, be not righteous over much. So it ain't good to be too righteous, man, because when you try to be too righteous, you really gonna mess up. Okay? But just take one step at a time, man. Okay, here a little and there a little. Try to keep the laws to the best of your ability in spite of your mistakes. Be not over righteous much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? Because too much wisdom can take your ass out of here, man. Okay, too much wisdom is not good. So you have to have a balance at the end of the day. Be not over righteous much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? So you have to really be, you have to really just kind of balance this wisdom out and balance this righteousness out. Okay. So we'll go back to Deuteronomy 18:13 and say, thou shalt be perfect with the Most High. So we know that perfection is not pursuant to the modern day terminology that the white man is talking about. Okay, it's just talking about keeping the law. We showed you that once again in Psalm 19:7. It says the law is perfect, converting the soul. Okay, so that's what it means to be perfect. All right. Let me show you another one. This is St. John chapter 1 verse 17. For the law was given by Moses. Okay, what is the law? The Torah. From Genesis to Deuteronomy. The law was given by Moses. Okay. But grace and truth came through Yahushua. Grace and truth came through Hamashiach Yahushua. So grace and truth came through him. You see that? Why did grace have to come along with the truth? Because what is the truth? The truth is the law. Okay. When you look at Psalms 119, 142, it tells you Psalms 119, 142 tell you that the Most High law is the truth, man. Okay, that's Psalms 119, 142. It tells you that the Most High laws are the truth. So why did grace have to come along with the laws? Because, man, if we fall, man, now we can go bold before the throne to Yahushua and ask for repentance, because he knows that we can't keep these laws perfect. That's why grace came along with the truth, which is the law, pursuing the Psalms 119, 142. He knows we can't keep the laws perfectly. That's why we have a grace period, man. Okay, but we are not to exploit the grace. We are not to wear out the grace. We're not to take advantage of the grace. Why? Romans 6 and 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Okay. Shall we just keep exploiting grace, overusing grace, the usury of grace, abusing grace? Shall we continue in this sin that grace may abound? God forbid. Because your grace period runs out. So it was never intended for us to exploit grace and overuse grace. But we have to be wise with using grace. We have to only use grace when grace is necessary. Pray for grace periods. You might slip up and do something. That's why no one can be perfect. That's why I'm bringing this out, to show you that even though we're not to exploit the grace, we are to utilize the grace we are to utilize this grace with wisdom and understanding. But grace came along with the law, which is the truth. How do we know that law is truth? Psalms 119, 142. Grace came along with that. So the Bible's not telling no one to be straight up perfect. Okay? Because he knows that, brothers and sisters, we can never do that, man. But it's just telling you to keep the law when it says thou shalt be perfect. How do we know that? Psalms 19 verse 7 says the law is perfect. Converting the what? Converting the soul. Now we're going to go to 1 Kings chapter 8 verse 61. This is 1 Kings 8 and 61. Let your heart, the heart means the mind, man. It's not talking about the physical heart that pumps blood, sends blood through the arteries. It's not talking about this heart. The heart speaks on the behalf of the mind. Let me show you that, brothers and sisters. This is Mark 7:21, the words of Yahushua. This is what Yahushua stated, okay? This is what he stated, Yahushua. He stated in Mark 7:21 concerning his heart, because we know the heart is not the actual heart of the Bible. When it speaks of the heart, it's talking about the mind. Mark 7:21, for from within, out of the heart, a man perceive evil thoughts, adulteries, and fornication, and murders. We know this don't come from the physical heart that pumps the blood throughout the body. Okay, so what is that heart? That heart is in reference to the mind, man. Only the mind can perceive evil thoughts, adulteries, and fornication, and murderers. Okay, and all such thing as in Mark 7:22, theft, stealing, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, and foolishness. That don't come from the physical heart that pumps the blood. That actually comes from the mind. So when you see in the Bible, when it speaks on the behalf of the heart, pursuing the Mark 7:21, that speaks of the mind, man. Okay, that speaks of the mind. So when we go back to 1 Kings 8 and 61, it says, let your heart, let your mind, therefore be perfect. Now, what is this perfection? Going back to, I believe, Psalms 19 and 7, when it says, Psalms 19 and 7, when it says the law is perfect, converting the soul. So the law is perfect. That's why it says, let your mind, your heart, therefore be perfect. Meaning, letting your mind meditate on the laws of Yahweh Yahushua. It says our power to walk in his statutes, to walk in his statutes and keep his commandments. Because his commandments is all referring to perfection, which is the law, okay, as this day. So let's go to the next verse. Well, I thought we had another verse in line, but that pretty much sums up this lesson. This was just a short lesson concerning conversion, brothers and sisters. This just the principles, just some small steps on conversion. All right, because a lot of pastors in the church, man, they like to break out with that Romans 9 and 10. You know, in the church, they always tell you to recite Romans 9 and 10 when you come before the altar. If you want to give your life to Christ, that's what they say in church. They say Romans 10:9, Salakia, Akayam Wakawayim. But Romans 10:9, that's Romans 10:9. This is what they recite in the church on the behalf of salvation and you being saved. But they would say that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth that Hamashiach Yahushua and shall believe in your heart, which is the mind. Okay, because you can't believe with the heart that pumps blood. You have to believe with the brain, the mind, that the Most High, the powers, have raised them up from the dead, that shall be saved. This is what they say in the church. But that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth that Yahushua, who they call Jesus, and you shall believe in your heart that God, the Most High, raised him from the dead, that shall be saved. Now, wait a minute, brothers and sisters, but they don't tell you the principles of believing, okay? Because it said, thou shalt confess with thy mouth that Yahushua, and you shall believe in his heart, and you shall believe in your heart. Now, what they don't go into belief. Now, what is belief? Right? First and foremost, how you gonna believe? Let me show you that, and then I'll close this lesson out. All right, this is in the apocryphal book, brothers and sisters. This is a verse that I'm pulling is in the apocryphal books, the books that was taken out the Bible around the like late 1700s, early 1800s. By the Roman Catholic Protestants. All right, so we're going into the apocryphal books. Let's take a look at Sirach, which some may call Ecclesiasticus, and we'll take a look at the 32nd chapter, 24th verse. Now it says, he that believes in Yahweh, take heed to his commandments. So you cannot believe without keeping the commandments. So he that believe in Yahweh, take heed to his commandments, and he that trust in him shall fare never the worse. So in order for you to believe, you have to take heed to the commandments, man. I'm just letting y'all see that. This is a rock. Some may call it Ecclesiasticus 32:24, King James, Apocrypha. He that believe in the Yahweh take heed to his commandments. So how in the hell you going to believe and you don't take heed to the commandments? That's the reason why the Apocrypha books were taken out the Bible, to teach you not how to believe. So when you go back to Romans 10:9, it says you got to confess with your mouth first and foremost on Yahweh Shai, but then you got to believe. How you going to believe? You got to take heed to the commandments and keep them in your heart. And you got to believe that the Most High raised him from the dead. Then you shall be saved, because no one is saved yet, man. No one is saved yet. So I hope that was a help to you guys on the behalf of Solid Foundation, Israelite Academy, 2016, 17 in advance. And hope you was edified through the Spirit and power. Yahweh Shema Yahweh Shai. And with this we say Shalom Akiyom and Shalom Apwayim.